Monocot seeds. Chale. Can anyone tell me quickly? This is the which layer? Arpita. Hull. Hull is a fusion of what? Sakshi.
Pericarp and seed coat.
Yes, correct. Pericarp and seed coat. Next, under the hull, over here in the broader region, which layer is present? Shubh. Shubh Patel. Zil, bolo.
Angular layer.
Very good. Alluron layer. This is the alluron layer. Chali. Under the alluron layer, in this region, what is present? Maitri?
Endosperm.
Yes, endosperm is there. Gia, tell me, in an alluron layer, what type of food is stored?
Ma'am, starch.
Alluron,
Protein.
protein, and endosperm,
Endosperm is starch.
starch, correct. Now, next, in the narrow region, over here, single shield-shaped cotyledon is present. That we call Kirtan.
Ma'am, scutellum.
Yes, very good. Scutellum. राइट ये सब 12th में भी इसका इससे थोड़ा हाई लेवल का है बट 12th का ये बेस है क्लियर कर लो राइट चलिए नेक्स्ट स्क्यूटेलम which is a cotyledon inside that embryo axis is developed embryo axis this part we called suppose this is the embryo axis the lower part of embryo axis we call my 3
Radical.
and this one my 3 bolo this one we call plumule. Now remember in case of monocots, radicle and plumules are very soft structure. So they need protection. For that they have a covering like structure, right? Radical covering structure, this cap we call coleorhiza, root. Then this cap which covers the plumule we call coleoptile. Right? So this is the structure of the monocot seed. Now, like a dicot seed, now we are going to discuss about whether it's endospermic or non. Right? Okay, just a second. One extra information for NEET exam only. Between this border over here, that alluron, here the cotyledon is there, right? Single shape. These two broader and the narrow region, they are separated by one single thin, very thin membrane that we called epithelial layer. This membrane separates both broader and narrow. Now understand first and then note down. This epithelial layer helps in secretion of gibberellin. Gibberellin is a plant growth promoter. Okay, auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, if you have heard this thing. So this epithelial layer over here that helps in secretion of this gibberellin. Now, gibberellin helps in sequence dekho. First epithelial layer. It helps in secretion of gibberellin. Gibberellin helps in activation of alpha amylase enzyme. Which enzyme? Alpha amylase enzyme. right? Gibberellin helps in this. Now, this alpha amylase enzyme that reach to this endosperm, amylase जब आता है ना, remember, पता है salivary amylase आपने सुना होगा. So amylase enzyme helps in starch digestion. Amylase enzyme always, plant हो या animal, helps in starch digestion. So in endosperm starch is present. So वो endosperm की जो starch है उसको digest करते हैं, complex molecule convert into simple one. And that simple, see, starch is what basically many glucose molecules that join to each other and form a starch. Many glucose molecules, single glucose, they join with each other and form a starch, right? Now, understand over here, with the help of this alpha amylase, ये alpha amylase आएगा यहाँ पे और वो cut करेगा. So now this starch gradually convert into single glucose molecule, which can be easily absorbed by the cell, and that glucose now shifting towards the narrow region where actually developing embryo is present. This developing embryo needs the nourishment, right? So that's why this epithelial layer is there. Epithelial layer secretes gibberellin. Gibberellin helps in it activates the alpha amylase enzyme. Alpha amylase enzyme digest starch which is present in endosperm into the simple carbohydrate, simple sugar, and this simple sugar now shifting towards the narrow region where developing embryo is present, and developing embryo get nourishment from that. This is the role of this epithelial layer. All of you clear? Or should I repeat one more time? Clear है? चलिए next. Now, most monocot seeds are endospermic. Exactly opposite dicot का. Dicot non-endospermic थे most of. Here most are endospermic. Next, to focus over here. Next, exceptional. Which one is the exceptional over here? Orchid. Orchids are monocot seed, but in that no endosperm. Most of the monocot seeds are endospermic, but orchid, though orchid is a monocot seed, in that no endosperm at maturity. Initially तो सब में होगा, monocot, dicot both are angiosperm. So initially endosperm is present, but at the maturity, when radical plumule developments begin, at that time in these orchids no endosperms, we call non-endospermic monocot seed. बोलिए आपको क्लियर है? चलिए, can anyone give me the example of endospermic dicot seed? Quickly, huh? We have no time too much. Endospermic dicot seed. Sakshi. माइक ऑन करो. साक्षी.
Yes, ma'am.
बोलो एंडोस्पर्मिक डाइकोट सीड.
हम कोई भी दे सकते हैं.
आप बोलो तो सही. बोलो. जिया. ओके. जील.
Bean.
Speak loudly. Zil. Not audible.
Bean.
Very good.
Bean, ma'am.
Pea and bean. All pulses. I told you. All pulses are dicot, but they are endospermic or non-endospermic. मैत्री बोलो.
Endospermic.
Castor.
अरे ऐसा नहीं, ऑल
They are not
पल्सेस आर एंड, हाँ करेक्ट, इसलिए यहाँ पे ऐसा कंफ्यूजन हुआ ना. जस्ट वन क्वेश्चन आई एम आस्किंग. Simply remember, most of the dicots are non-endospermic. An example P-bean. But exceptional क्या है डाइकोट में? कैस्टर प्लांट, कैस्टर सीड. डाइकोट है बट एंडोस्पर्मिक है. आंसर कैस्टर. राइट. चलिए नेक्स्ट. नॉन एंडोस्पर्मिक मोनोकोट सीड. नॉन एंडोस्पर्मिक मोनोकोट सीड अर्पिता. अर्पिता माइक ऑन करो एटलीस्ट. जिया. कीर्तन.
मैम ऑर्किड.
Orchid, correct. Okay. All of you clear this concept or not?
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Now next, okay, maize, wheat, monocot के example है. Maize, wheat, rice, they all are endospermic seed. You know rice में starch होता है. Yes or no? In rice, starch is present, right? Next. Now the next topic of this chapter, okay, very interesting but little bit complicated also. Please focus over here, because if you are not get this point that what is floral formula, floral diagram, okay, you will not able to you answer any question of this topic. Each and every word link with the other one, right? First, you know different types of estivations are there. Valvate, maxillary, twisted, quinquential, imbricate, right? Different types of even placentations are there. Then next, that zygomorphic flower, actinomorphic flower, meaning radial symmetrical flower, bilateral symmetrical flower. So now we are going to make this flower. We are going to make a flower in a schematic form. Schematic form meaning what? हमें petals जैसे okay जैसे दिखते हैं रोज के वैसे हमें कुछ नहीं बनाना. Simply we have to draw in that what type of estivation is there, what type of symmetry is there in that flower. On the basis of this information, now we are going to make a schematic diagram of this flower, right? So for that you have an information that in which flower or in a flower what type of estivation, placentation, symmetry is there. So you can easily make this, right? In that whether sepals or petals are fused or they are free from each other, right? If epipetalous condition or the epiphyllous condition is there. That's why I told you, अभी सब ऊपर से ही जाने वाला है. कि जितने भी flower के parts है, I told you, please remember each and every term so you can easily, okay, learn this last topic. Next part, that's the family part. In that we are going to discuss about their vegetative characters and the floral characters. Vegetative characters meaning what? That plants have their root system, stem system and the leaf. What type of leaves are there? In that leaves, what type of phyllotaxy? Then next, what type of venation is present, right? This type of description we will give in case of this leaf. Stem में erect है या branch or climber, what type? Root, what type of root system? Tap root, fibrous, which one? Right? So this type of characters we call vegetative characters. Then next, that's the floral characters. Floral characters meaning, first we have to describe that inflorescence, racemose or cymose type. Then their flower, their symmetry, then hypogynous, perigynous position of ovary, right? Then next, that whether flower is bracteate or ebracteate. Then next, in calyx, we have to describe the all four whorls of a flower: calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. This all, and then fruit, seed, all this thing that comes under in this floral characters, right? Now, for that, we have to first understand some floral formulas. How can we write this bracteate flower, actinomorphic flower, zygomorphic flower in a very shortest way? In a very shortest way, just in a symbolic form. So that we call floral symbols or floral formula. So if flowers are bracteate, means in flower bract is present. Now can anyone tell me what is bract? बोलिए कीर्तन.
Ma'am, at the angle of flower and its ma'am
No. Simple. This is the flower, right?
Yes.
So at the base of the pedicel, single reduced leaf is present that we call bract, right? At the base of the pedicel, this is the stalk of the flower we call pedicel. So at the base of the pedicel, the single reduced leaf is present that we call bract. Now in some of the flower bract present, so we call bracteate, and if not, we call ebracteate, right? So if we want to write bracteate, so simply we have to write BR, capital B, small r. Then ebracteate, then write in this way EBR. EBR indicates ebracteate, BR indicates bracteate. Now next, can you tell me which is the outermost whorl of flower? Quickly. Which is the outermost whorl of flower? Gia.
Calyx.
Yes, calyx. Calyx we represent in case of that's a simple capital K, small letter name. Okay, capital K. Now understand. ये सब आपकी बुक में नहीं दिया है. This thing is needed. Calyx को हमने represent किया K के form में. Calyx. Can anyone tell me quickly unit of calyx? Arpita, बोलो. Unit of calyx. No. Very good. Sakshi. Not remember, है ना? Maitri. Very good. Very easy. Kirtan.
ma'am sepals.
Yes, sepal. Greenish in color. So that we call sepals. Now, sepals number are vary. Sepals number are vary. In some of them only 3 sepals are there. In some of them 4. In some of them 5. Right? So if we want to represent that in this flower 5 sepals are there. So we have to write in this way. A5. A5. In this format you have to write. Right? Suppose 3 sepals indicate करना है तो K3. 4 sepals indicate करना है then write K4. Now, one more thing we can represent over here. We know in some of the flowers sepals are free, in some of them sepals are fused. So if sepals are free, okay, just write in, suppose 3, 4 sepals. ये condition को represent करना है in formula form. So you simply write K4. But when, if you want to make not a free, but the fused 4 sepals. So at that time, make bracket with this 4. Okay, write 4 in a bracket. Bracket indicates fusion. In floral formula, bracket indicates fusion. If free, remove bracket. if fused make bracket, right? Now, can anyone tell me, suppose over here, if I am giving you the condition 6 fused sepals, how can you write? Arpita, bolo.
Ma'am, K6 in bracket.
Very good. K6 in bracket. Clear? Chaliye. Inner to the calyx, which one? Maitri? Corolla. Right? Unit of corolla. Sakshi?
Petals.
Yes, petal. अभी आपको ही बोलना है, राइट? सपोज ओके, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कोरोला, जैसे कैलिक्स का सिंबल के है, कोरोला का सिंबल सी, कैपिटल सी. नाउ सपोज आई एम गिविंग यू दैट 4 फ्री पेटल्स, तो कैसे रिप्रेजेंट करोगे आप? 4 फ्री, हाँ, C4. ओके, मैत्री, नॉट मैत्री, जिल.
Yes, ma'am.
Suppose I am giving you that 4 fused petal, then how should I write?
Okay.
चलिए, शुभ बोलो.
C ब्रैकेट में 4.
Yes, correct. Right? So 4 fused petal, simple bracket you have to make, right? Next whorl of the flower, can you tell me inner to the corolla? Gia.
Ma'am, androecium.
And unit?
Stamen.
Very good. Androecium, unit we call the stamen. So androecium we write in formula capital A. Right? Capital A. Now, androecium में है, okay, suppose female flower is there, unisexual flower है, female flower, so उसमें androecium तो absent होगा, male stamen तो होंगे ही नहीं. So if female flower, remember female flower अगर होता है तो उसमें हम A0 लिखेंगे. A0 meaning this one is absent, right? Now next point, A0 no stamen. Clear है? Now next कौन है? Jaimin Raj, unmute yourself. Jaimin.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Video on करो fast.
हाँ.
Fast. He left. Very good. Shubh.
Yes, ma'am.
See, now I'm giving you one condition. You will have to tell me how should I write. In one flower, that 6 free stamens are present. 6 free stamen. How should I write? जैसे कैलिक्स करोला के लिए किया सेम वही है.
A5.
बोलो शुभ.
Oh, sorry,
K
sorry.
कैसे हुआ?
A5. A5.
अब
A5.
यहाँ पे 6
A5.
लिखा है मैंने, 6.
A.
हाँ, A5 लिखूं फिर ऐसा?
Oh, sorry. 6. Sorry.
Focused here. A6 without bracket, right? And if
नहीं,
3 की जगह पे यहाँ पे मैं फ्यूज कर दूं तो क्या हो जाएगा?
Yes,
In
ma'am.
bracket, right? चलिए, good.
ब्रैकेट में.
Now, हाँ, correct. Now the next thing, that this is the main important one. Now understand. कैलिक्स कोरोला इजी था, एंड्रोशियम में एक पॉइंट है. यू नो एपीपेटालस कंडीशन. कैन एनीवन टेल मी व्हाट इज एपीपेटालस? एक था एपीपेटालस, अदर इज एपिटेपलस और एपीफाइलस. Anyone can tell me what is epipetalus, what is epiphilus? बोलो कीर्तन. Name suggest.
Ma'am, in epipetalus, the stamens are fused with the petals, and
Very good, very good. Epiphilus in that.
in epiphilus, the stamen is attached with the tepals.
Very good, excellent, Kirtan. Okay, epipetalus and epiphilus. Stamens are fused with the petal. So हम कैसे लिखेंगे? Petal, you know, corolla wall. So उसके लिए C बनाओ. फिर एंड्रोशियम का A बनाओ. And makes a connection. This thing indicates the epipetalus. चलिए, आप में से कोई मुझे बताएगा? You know now the definition. कीर्तन ने ऑलरेडी रिपीट किया है. एपीपेटालस और एपीफाइलस का डेफिनेशन. Stamens attached to tepals. Okay. One more thing. Before that, I should tell you that. जैसे कैलिक्स के लिए हम K यूज करते हैं, कोरोला के लिए C यूज करते हैं. रिमेम्बर, पेटल्स का वर्ल है कोरोला, सेपल्स का वर्ल है कैलिक्स. सो टेपल्स वर्ल वी कॉल्ड where calyx and corolla are not differentiated, they look quite similar. Remember that term, perianth, right? That term is perianth. Calyx and corolla are not differentiated, and that we call the perianth. उसका यूनिट होता है टेपल, राइट? सो पेरियांथ है तो उसको हम P के फॉर्म में रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे यहाँ पे, कैपिटल P. So now you have all symbols. P है, A है. You know the definition of epiphilus. Can anyone tell me how should I write epiphilus condition? बोलो मैत्री.
P and A joined from the above.
Yes, this two join. Right? This one we call epiphilus condition. In symbolic form, we write in this way, simple. All of you clear? If you have any doubt, please ask me. Feel free to ask me. कोई भी formula नहीं समझ में आया है? If you want any repetition, I can. This is very important. बोलो. No one. Okay.
मैम
हाँ बोलो.
मैम वो जो पी था वो पेरियंथ के लिए था ना?
हाँ, पेरियंथ.
ओके ओके.
राइट. वैसे कैलिक्स का यूनिट तो सेपल है, बट हम एस नहीं लिखते, कैलिक्स का के लिखते, राइट? चलिए नेक्स्ट, दैट्स द इनर टू द एंड्रोशियम व्हिच whorl is present? Quickly, inner to the एंड्रोशियम which whorl? कीर्तन.
Ma'am, gynoecium,
Unit.
carpel.
Yes, correct. Gynoecium, and that unit we call the carpel. So gynoecium we represent in this way, capital G. Right? Now, suppose I am giving that two apocarpus carpel. अभी इसके लिए आपको एपोकार्पस, सिनकार्पस मैंने लास्ट टाइम लर्न करवाया था, वो आना चाहिए, राइट? टू एपोकार्पस कार्पेल. सो हाउ कैन यू रिप्रेजेंट दिस? जिया बोलो. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल टेल मी व्हाट इज एपोकार्पस?
मैम एपोकार्पस मतलब कार्पेल, फ्री कार्पेल.
हाँ, कार्पेल्स आर फ्री फ्रॉम ईच अदर, राइट?
Each other, yes.
हाँ, नाउ टेल मी.
So we will represent it by capital G2.
वेरी गुड, राइट? नेक्स्ट, एपोकार्पस की जगह पे यहाँ पे मैं सिनकार्पस कर दूं तो बोलो जिया.
Ma'am, then capital G in bracket 2.
Yes, correct. Syncarpus meaning fused condition, right? That's why I told you each and every term definition you should remember. Now the next very important thing. Remember hypogynous, perigynous, epigynous condition. Ovary position, superior, inferior, semi-inferior, right? So this thing also we can represent over here. Here we make a line. This line indicates thalamus. This line indicates what? Thalamus. Now, suppose line G के नीचे बनाते हम, below the G, meaning what? यहाँ पे thalamus है, and on which the ovary is present on a superior position, right? So can you tell me this one indicates what? Hypogynous, perigynous, or epigynous? Where superior ovary is there, that is which condition? Kirtan.
Ma'am, hypogynous.
Correct, hypogynous. Right? Next thing, that if we want to represent perigynous condition, perigynous meaning what? Semi-inferior, almost equal level. So just make line in this way, G ke parallel. Right? So this one become perigynous flower. Then next, if we want to make epigynous condition, in which ovary सबसे last में होता है below, so make G के ऊपर, this line indicates thalamus, so वो thalamus में cup shape thalamus में embedded होता है, right? So represent in this way. All of you understood how to represent hypo, peri and epigynous ovary?
Yes, ma'am.
Now next thing, symmetry के लिए either bilateral symmetry, so just make a circle and one line, or else actinomorphic, meaning any radial axis, any plane of axis we can divide into two. So zygomorphic के लिए ये दो symbol है, you can use either or. This one indicates bilateral symmetry or the zygomorphic flower. This one indicates radial symmetry, actinomorphic flower. Right? Next, flower, unisexual or bisexual. Suppose symbol like this. ये तो आपने देखा होगा generally. This symbol indicates what? Female or male? Zil?
Male.
Wrong. That's a female. Okay, over here this symbol indicates the female, and if symbol like this, then it indicates the male. Right? So if in a flower only androecium is present, so we can say that male flower, so represent in this way. If in a flower only gynoecium is present, meaning what? Calyx, corolla and gynoecium, उसमें male part नहीं होगा, तो we call female flower. But in some majority flower actually they have both gynoecium as well as androecium, so we represent in this way, both in a one, bisexual. All of you clear? All symbols?
Yes,
Here we have
ma'am.
completed this. Now next, that I am teaching you that how to make a floral diagram. See, today I am teaching you that how to make a floral diagram. I will give you homework at the end. Okay, and in the next class we will complete this chapter by studying this three family, right? Now, to make a floral diagram, okay, to make a floral diagram, first of all, you have to understand about mother axis. Okay. You have to understand that mother axis. Now, what is this mother axis? So simply, देखो, just imagine, you have to imagine this thing, assume करना है आपको कि आप कोई प्लांट के पास खड़े हो, राइट, जिसके ऊपर फ्लावर है. तो प्लांट आपके फ्रंट साइड पे होगा, यहाँ पे, राइट. चलिए नेक्स्ट, देन आप फ्लावर ले रहे हो यहाँ से, जो आपके सामने फ्लावर, and this is the, okay, over here the person is standing to observe this flower. So flower के exact opposite, जहाँ पे ये flower attach होता है to the axis, that we call mother axis. That one we call the mother axis, right? Mother axis side, that is the anterior side, and जो open flower है, this open flower, that we call posterior side. Flower जहाँ पे attached होता है, this point we call anterior, and other one where the open petals and open petals we can easily observe, that is the posterior. Now, what is the importance to study this mother axis? For that, remember estivation different, particularly imbricate. Imbricate में कौन सा condition था? Can anyone tell me? Imbricate estivation में, कीर्तन.
Ma'am, in imbricate condition, the one petal or sepal will be outer, the one will be and other all are twisted.
One inner, one outer, and three twisted. Right? ये pattern था. Now we have to make a correct floral diagram. Correct in a sense of what? This is the mother axis. So towards the mother axis, right? First, we represent mother axis in this dotted form. Now, here you can make out, over here one sepal is there. यहाँ पे sepal बना के रखा है, यहाँ पे this part, right? So actually, we have to see that towards the, you know, in imbricate, twisted and valvate में तो same होता है, pattern same रहेगा. Twisted and valvate में just along the margin in case of valvate, then twisting pattern in case of the twisted. Meet will end soon, please rejoin. In case of imbricate, quinquential, that which sepal or petal should be the outer, which one is the inner? Suppose 5 sepals or petals है, तो उसमें से कौन सा outer होगा, कौन सा inner, and which 3 are twisted, right? हम ऐसे ही नहीं बना सकते कि चलो यहाँ पे हमने outer बना दिया, यहाँ पे inner बनाते हैं, बाकी के 3 को हम twisted कर देते. No, we cannot do this, right? My voice is clear or not?
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Zil check, Zil आप network check कर लो.